Welcome to this masterclass on cybersecurity, jobs and skills. I'm Chandran Subramaniam, presently Director, Cyber4 DigiSec Solution Private Limited, Faculty Advisor, Garranto Academy, Singapore. I'm also Independent Director, Databank Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. I'm an accredited trainer for ISACA's exam, CISA, CISM, CGIT. I'm also an authorized trainer for Chief Information Security Officer program from EC Council. I had the opportunity to work for organizations like banking, financial services industry, software industry, Big Four consulting firm within India as well as in the Middle East regions. I had the opportunity to play the role of Chief Information Security Officer role. We had the opportunity to implement many standards like ISO, ISMS framework, NIST framework, PCI DSS compliance requirements. We had the opportunity to establish the full-fledged cybersecurity operations center for a large banking group in Middle East. With that brief introduction, let us get into today's agenda. How are you feeling today, all of you?
Good, sir.
Good. Okay, thank you. We'll keep our interaction focused on the career opportunity, the skills required to upgrade ourselves. End of the day, we'll have an open session. So what I kept for the next 40-45 minutes, maybe, I want to take you through some of the threats that were real. The question is, why do they happen? Why do they happen, such threats, if they are real? What is the emerging trends, particularly from a cyber risk point of view, cyber security point of view, and how to manage such cyber risk, emerging risk. And we'll discuss a good amount of our time in career opportunities. I'm sure many people would like to transition from their current position, current role, or maybe somebody may be interested in taking up afresh from after their graduation, post-graduation, upskilling and reskilling. It is applicable across the spectrum, across the region, across all industries, all the skill. It is much more relevant in cybersecurity. Some of the courses offered by us, Garranto Academy, will share with you, and we'll have a full session. Threats that were real. Some of these threats, I'm sure you'll be aware of it. Capital One of the largest bank, had some issue. They were fined $18 million by the OCC, the regulator of US, for not ensuring security of the customer data in that cloud. Another incident you could see on the screen, SWIFT, Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunication, was safe till the year 2015 when a major breach, major hack happened. SWIFT across the nation, particularly the one which is shown on the screen, Bangladesh Central Bank SWIFT attack, leading to nearly $101 million siphoned off from the central bank. Some were recovered, some could not be. The one attack in Singapore, the cyber attack on Singhealth, we call it, happened way back in 2017 and 2018, near about a year. And then a lot of investigation, a lot of lessons learned. The personal data, the patient's record of even high profile people were compromised. The other one which you see, the Mersak global IT breakdown caused by cyber attack. The ransomware, Major Petya, was the cause of the attack. Blockchain, we all aware of blockchain, the currency, the digital currency, Bitcoins. There are also possibilities of 51% attack, crypto jacking, other challenges on this emerging technology reported. Drones, as we all know, they are flying computers. They could be another attack vector to attack any target. IT, IoT, IIoT, IoT, Internet of Things, Industrial Internet of Things, they're all becoming a reality. They are growing many times. They are also prone for challenges. Cloud, as you see, KCR ransomware attack, which happened last few years back. Cloud also exposed to a lot of security control concern, particularly from the data privacy point of view. Many scams happened across the globe, particularly in Singapore. We had a lot of scam. So more than 60,000 scam cases were reported between the period 2017 to 2021, resulting in a combined loss of more than $1 billion. Amazon had disruption, availability, we call it, service disruption, major outage at Amazon. It was in the news item. The GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation, as we call it, European Union, which had the data privacy of the European citizen as its expectation to secure the privacy of the citizen of the European Union. For not following the GDPR requirement, many fines were given. I just taken the biggest one. Amazon was fined 746 million euro. Before that, Google was the biggest fine. The May 2018, as they came into picture, the GDPR rules came into picture, they were fined 50 million euros. The list goes. This is a data I've gathered from itgovernance.co.uk blogs. If you look at it, it's the last 4 quarters of the last year. The number of incidents, number of data breaches. Incidents could be the breach reported by the victim. Some may not have been reported. The number of data records breaches, maybe duplicate also, maybe multiple count also. There has been a good number of records which have been breached quarter by quarter. Industry-wise, you can see that detail if you are interested. So when there was a survey done by the World Economic Forum, what the cybersecurity leaders worried about, concerned about, if you look at it, the interesting report, which is published in the World Economic Forum webpage, you can look at it, the cybersecurity outlook, 10% loss of personal asset by the cyber attack, 20% were related to ransomware. In fact, ransomware attack was on the rise post-COVID or during COVID as well. Infrastructure breakdown and identity theft. It was there, it is there, it will continue to be there. 24% nearly, they are worried about the identity theft. Just I shared with you some of the threats which are real. There are many more. I could not showcase it here. The question to us, to all of us, why do they happen? Why such breaches happen? Even with the big companies, big organization, with many tools, techniques, people, facilities, procedures, why do they happen? If you look at it, why they happen, to my mind, it comes failure of controls, failure of internal controls. They can call control as policy, procedures, practices, structure, technology, the overall culture of the organization in order to prevent, detect, correct, and or deter any risk being happening. That controls one or more have failed. Could be human vulnerability. Vulnerability, as we all know, weakness in us, the human, weakness in the process created by us, the human, weakness in the system created by us. There is a vulnerability. Human vulnerability, system vulnerability, process vulnerability, could be misconfigured system. You're not configured properly. Some vulnerable services are running. We didn't disable vulnerable services. For example, file transfer protocol, telnet protocol, remote access. We give it without any security controls. Inadequate governance. There is a supervision, there is a transparency, there is an accountability. Inadequate governance also could be the cause of this incident. Just going back on the emerging trends, we all know we have reached a stage in the fourth industrial revolution. This is from World Economic Forum. If water and steam engine were the first industrial revolution way back early 18th century, the second revolution saw in the form of electric motorized power, which generated mass production, manufacturing. The third in the form of electronic and integrated chips, which we saw servers, internet, PC. Now we all pass through what we call as a fourth industrial revolution is already on. What we see from the slide, what I'm trying to convey, there is a convergence, fusion of technology that blur the lines between the physical world, digital world, and biological spheres. It's what we see today. Just a feel of what we have in this emerging trend. We have technologies in the form of cloud, in the form of traditional information technology, in the form of operational technology, OT. We have a convergence on-prem, cloud, multi-cloud. We have a new technology in the form of next generation firewall, IPS, IDS, SIM, SOAR, and so on. We do have a lot of risk, emerging risk. We'll see it in another slide. We do have a lot of risk, threats, changing landscape of attack, new attack surface. In short, if I need to summarize in this digital age, whatever we want to digitize our business, our process, whatever reason, there is also a risk which has emerged or which has enhanced the already risk we are all facing. Risk, as we all know, undesired event. Undesired from whatever I wanted to do, from my stated objective, vision, there is a derailment. I'm not able to achieve it. That I call it as a risk. It may be a financial risk, reputation risk, legal compliance risk, or strategic risk. Identity theft is a real. As long as we use password, there is a chance your password can be stolen, which is undesired. Identity theft in a digital world, it's real. Privacy breach, a lot of reported data breaches, personal information, personally identifiable information, resulting in GDPR fines or other legal regulatory challenges. Integrity. Integrity, as we all know, it is completeness, accuracy, validity, purity. If there is a word called virtue for a data, that is always challenged in this world. When I say integrity, data at rest, data in transit, as well as data in use throughout the life cycle of the data, this is challenge. Accountability. Who did what, when? Auditability, traceability of whatever activity is done. There is an incident, there is a breach. Will you be able to trace it? Who did it, when, from which region, which IP, which is the indicator of compromise? This comes under auditability. Lack of auditability, especially when you start using the emerging technology. Largely the non-compliance, which we saw in the case of GDPR fines. Strategic issue. Strategic issue, what I mean, today we decide to go to cloud for many reasons. Time to market, ease of use, acceptability. But imagine from one cloud, you need to switch over to another cloud, or you want to come back to on-premises. How do you handle that? What happens to the data on the cloud? To me, the biggest risk in this digital age, and that is the focus of our discussion today, the skills, knowledge, gaps. A lot of gaps in our skills. Knowledge you may acquire, but in the skills, the ability, the capability in doing things, handling tools, techniques could be a major concern, and the whole IT environment has changed. The controls, the traditional control, if I go and check a data center, the control which I used to look at it have already changed, especially with the cloud coming into picture.
Chandran, Karthik here.
Yeah, Karthik.
Yeah, quick question. The previous slide which you showed, everything comes under the risk management, right?
Correct.
Can I say? So to mitigate all the individual points, to mitigate everything, we have to do the step by step, or like a tools or some policies like a GPO or something like that, isn't it?
Yes. So exactly how to manage also, I'll be addressing it. You
Okay.
are correct. Yes, you are correct. We have to address the risk, no known risk, undesired one, which is inherent to any business, particularly in this digital age. We have to address, and we can address. We will address.
So we cannot say these are the common risks. Some will be common for all the companies, but depends upon the company or manufacturing unit or industry or the banking. It differs, right? Or is there any common factors where we say these are the risks involved, something like that?
What we are discussing is industry agnostic, it's a region agnostic, it's nothing to do with any specific industry. The gravity, the compliance, regulatory requirement may differ, but then it is cutting across in the any virtualized in an internet connected world. They are all
these are all the points will be covered anyway, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got your point. Yeah. These are the common points. These are the common sectors which are in the risk management. Okay.
We'll also see how to manage this risk. I have one or two slides on that.
Okay, thanks, Chandra.
Sir, I think we also have another question from Mr. Rajesh.
Yeah, hi, Mr. Chandran. Yeah, actually, I have a question. The previous slide, there was mention of IT/OT. IT is, are we referring to information technology, and what is OT? Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Sir Chandran?
Chandran, sir, you are on mute, and the slide is also not there.
Sir Chandran?
Yeah, 1 second. Is it okay now?
Oh, yeah, it's sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we can see it now.
Yeah, go to previous slide, sir. Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, the question is on the previous slide, not on this slide, previous to this.
Yeah, this one. Okay. So IT and OT, correct? The question was. Yeah. We all know the adoption, the IT is the enabler of business. Technology is the enabler of the business. Business is for creation of value to the promoters, stakeholders, and business is for creating profit. Now, traditionally, service industry, particularly financial, healthcare, other transport, they were early adopter of the technology, information technology. Then we have another area which is operational technology, like power or other sectors, nuclear power plant, or where oil sector, where you can automate certain activities, which becomes operational technology. We call it as an industrial control system. So they are also making use of the technology for their efficiency, for other unmanned process as well. Now, what is happening is there is a blend, there is a merging of the traditional IT as well as the operational technology. So with the result that I have an hybrid environment. So SCADA system, for example, the supervisory control system used in many of the power plant. So those things qualify under OT category, which is automation of maybe a monitoring environment, maybe temperatures, other things, or the program logic PLC based systems. So now there is a blend. I have a hybrid. Added to that, I have the cloud, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS. They're all connected to public, untrusted internet. So I have a bit challenging, and these are also exploited. There are instances in some of the power plant in Ukraine, even in Iran, or even in Saudi, they were exploited in the past. The OT technology, OT environment.
So
Because you
technically,
don't apply the patches the way we do traditionally, maintenance and all. They're all appliances, one time created. It's not like a way we do where the IT industry does a patch management, vulnerability management. You cannot even do a scanning of some of the devices. There's no upgrade of the OS, possibly. Yes, sir. You have a question? The attack surface have increased tremendously. And we are all connected with this internet world, always connected. And internet is a public untrusted network. It's not designed for the security. We make use of it. So the challenges from a security and control concern on the CIA, confidentiality, integrity, availability, remains. So each industry has started giving their own security control requirement. Particularly, we call it as critical information infrastructure, the backbone of the country. Every country has issued, including Singapore, CIIP, they have defined which sector qualifies. 11 sectors have been classified, energy, power, banking, like that. So there is a mix of technology being used in their environment. Some are embedded systems, some are customizable, some are custom developed. So all these exposed to risk and threats.
yeah, that is good. Yeah, thanks. Mr.
Sure. Yeah. So here, what I wanted to focus, talent is one challenge, worker burnout. In fact, IT long hours, people who manage the data center and all, especially post to COVID, they are asked to support the mobile users, different people at a different point of time. So there is a challenge from a resource skills perspective is what I wanted to share with you. Now, we all saw threats. There is a risk emerging, and the technology is going to move forward, whether it's a blockchain, whether it's a big data, whether it's a cloud adoption. In fact, most of the startups go with the cloud, easy to do that. Now, the question is, how do you manage the risk? Risk is inherent to any business. Risk is more inherent to in a public, untrusted internet digital world. How will you manage it? Before we get into that, the controls I put in place. If there is a risk, if there is an undesired event, that desired thing, I'll put it in such a way it prevents, detects, corrects, and or works like an administrative or data run control. Controls are policy, procedures, practices, which I put in place to manage the risk. There is a possibility I cannot remove the risk, but every chance I can prevent it, if not detect it and correct it in a timely manner, or I can set in procedures or advise, guidelines, or even fines, what like a deterrent controls. Particularly if I take an example of identity theft, in fact, we all move towards passwordless identity. There is a standard, there is a program. We want, all of us will be moving away from this password, which is posing a lot of challenges. Or you can use multi-factor authentication, DigiPass, SyncPass type of a second factor based authentication, which is more difficult to break. This I wanted to showcase. How will you secure it? Is it possible to manage the risk? Yes, it is possible if we have appropriate architecture, appropriate enterprise architecture. Architecture, in a simple term, is a blueprint. The way you visualize, if you are a technology person, you will visualize it. If you are differently, if you are a business person, you will visualize it differently. If you are an operation person supporting the whole environment, you will visualize it differently. Underlying is the data, the infrastructure, hardware, software, business process, business drivers. Holistically, we call it as a enterprise architecture model. When it comes to cloud, a lot of control framework. We'll discuss how to manage the risk. When it comes to cloud, you can have the Cloud Security Alliance, CSA. They have published Cloud Control Matrix. Recently, they came out with the version 4. Implementation, step by step, how you can implement the control in order to manage the risk. There is a Center for Internet Security, CIS control, cyber defense control. They have come out with the latest version 8 with 18 controls for the cyber defense. Earlier, it was 20 controls with the CIS, SANS together publishing the 20 control to manage the cyber risk. The other one, which you see, the COSO framework, which is the best for any internal control. If there is a failure in my control, I have a mechanism to address that with some of these control frameworks. One I wanted to showcase, it is from the Institute of Internal Auditors, the lines of defense. As we all know, every person is a risk champion at the first line of first leg of defense, whether it is an operation, sales, or a distribution, or accounting, whichever function we do, they all of us understand the process, understand our risk. That is called first line of defense. The second line of defense comes in the form of maybe a risk manager, maybe a security officer, maybe a quality assurance. There is a second line of defense. And the third line of defense, which is independent of this first line and second line, which we call it as an audit. Audit can be internal audit. It can be external audit also. We call it as an audit as a third line of defense. And above this, there is a governing body, depending upon the nature of the organization, size of the organization. We have the board of directors, management, committees, all which will have the accountability, transparency, supervisionary body, which takes the governing body. Above this, you have external audit, independent audit from the regulator, law of the land, other expectation also works. So IIA, the Institute of Internal Auditors, have published the lines of defense. This one I wanted to showcase, one from the financial institution perspective, Basel III, that is an international regulation for the international banks operating across the globe, Pillar 1, Pillar 2, Pillar 3. The other one, which is enterprise risk management, which is ISO 31000, holistically enterprise level, you can manage the risk, including technology risk, which comes under operational risk, which is under enterprise risk management. So more details, you will look at it. So you can manage the cyber risk with this framework. This is from COBIT, from ISACA body, Control Objective for Information and Related Technology. They have updated the COBIT version 5, COBIT 2019. So it looks from governance model, provide stakeholder value. In fact, business is created for value creation for the stakeholder, for the promoters, whoever it is. So governance, it has a holistic approach, dynamic governance. That means you respond to the changes, whatever happening, whether it's a technology side, process side, or business side. Governance is distinct from management. Management, executive management, takes what is directed by the governance. Governance directs what is required, mission, vision of the very existence of the business. That set the tone. The management, executive management, maybe CEO, managing director, COO, whoever it is, they execute as per the direction of the governing body. That is the COBIT, strong in the governance framework. It is tailored to the enterprise need, and it is end-to-end COBIT. One can look at it. This one of late gained a lot of attention, especially ISO, ISMS 27001, revised from 2013 version to recently October 2022. It has revised the control. It was earlier 114 control. Now it has been revised to 93 control. good amount of controls have been taken away and new controls have also been added. In all, it has 93 control across 4 domain or 4 schema: people, organization, technology, and physical area. It's a many of the organization, they have started implementing ISO 27001, which addresses in a way the global compliance requirement, particularly arising from GDPR or other regulatory central banks are asking. So this framework has all the features which will lead to the expectation of the compliance requirement, both internal, external compliance. Just I shared you the complete 93 control across the 4 scheme or chapters. So you can look at it. The interesting one, which you see in the green colors, which are highlighted, they are all given new thrust in this revised version. More focus on the threat intelligence, security operations, cloud security, data leakage. These are the new areas which have been emerged. Other best framework in order to address the cyber risk comes from NIST. NIST is working on the NIST Cybersecurity Framework version 2.0. This is what you see is 1.1. 2.0 draft version is ready, which is holistically looking at incident management, governance, supplier third-party risk management, supplier relationship, cloud. That is also having very short, it will be released formally. One can look at it. They are very robust, independent of any particular industry or organization. ITIL, I wanted to share with you. In the beginning, I said IT is an enabler, facilitator of any business. The IT itself works like a control. IT service management, IT as a service, also needs to be properly controlled. ITIL version 4, which has 34 practices, earlier version had 26 processes, comes handy when you want to establish a reliable IT service management delivery support model. Whether it is on-prem, whether it's on cloud, you can do that. It originally, information technology infrastructure library came from UK government, but it is maintained privately. The green color which you see in the screen, the new thrust has been given to these areas, including architecture, measurement, and reporting. Now, let us get into our career opportunities. This was a survey done by ISACA, the US Information System Audit Control Association, about the cyber workforce challenges. Interestingly, the hiring challenges, as we call it, many, you don't get resources. Without getting too deep, many positions are vacant. Many skills are missing. Also, the requirement for a graduation that they've scaled down. Earlier, one has to be a formal graduate and all. Now, when we look at it, resources for a security operation, threat intelligence or threat hunting or penetration, ethical hacking, we don't get into their academic qualification. We look from their professional qualification, their skills, competency. This is what I wanted to share. Budget also improved despite other challenges. A good amount of funding comes into cybersecurity domain. This is from Singapore Security Strategy 2.0. If you look at it, the objective, build a resilient infrastructure, enable a safer cyberspace, strengthen the international partnership, especially sharing of intelligence, threat intelligence, develop a vibrant cyber ecosystem, grow a robust cyber talent pipeline. The bottom line is we need talented people with knowledgeable and highly skilled in each of these domains. I'm sure you are aware of the skillfuture.gov.singapore. If you look at it, the position, the JDs for the various security, cyber security, IT audit, risk governance, compliance, role is defined. You can have a look at it from this framework. One can align, one can map their skill, their aspiration according to this job profile, and it will help in strengthening further their career opportunity. There is no dearth of position in cybersecurity. It can be simple like a security analyst. You can go up to Chief Information Security Officer. You can be in the board of governance, board of directors. Even the board two topics includes cybersecurity, cyber threats. This just I wanted to share with you uh, the position, open position. You are able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see.
Yeah.
This I have taken it, the CISA. You can check it, CISA jobs in LinkedIn. Still, LinkedIn is a professionally connected social network. It shows so many opportunity within Singapore. Some of them newly published also. We'll see what is CISA. Shortly, I'll also explain that. CISM, Certified Information Security Manager or Information Security Manager, who can even play the role of governance role, compliance role, security manager role, some of the positions which have been published there. CGIT, Certified Governance in Enterprise Information Technology, which is more suitable for experienced people want to play C-suite level or a board level or advisory level. So CGIT is also a sort of term. This one, another portal I have taken, Career Future. So when I searched for the term information security, it throws 219 jobs found. In short, I've not taken the global requirement. Global requirements are increasing, growing in the cybersecurity. So for all of us, irrespective of our age, whatever our position we hold now, whatever our qualification, educational background, all of us need to upskill, reskill ourselves in order to move forward with the emerging technology, with the emerging risk and managing the risk, and will be sort of the what we could share, we believe. So there are programs which are like a cybersecurity threat management, 2 days online program, a custom developed program, a blend of all the elements of a cybersecurity threat management. If you want to have an overview about what is cybersecurity threat management about, this is the best course. There is a new area, which is a security operations center, which is the eyes and ears of any cybersecurity threat management program. CSOP, we have custom developed it. You can look at it. The other one, which is internationally recognized, the program in system audit, security information management, governance, CGIT. Very briefly, I'll share with you. There are many credentials. I have taken CISA ISACA program. CISA 1, C risk is for risk management, certified risk management professional. CISM is for the information security. CGIT for the governance, people who are interested in governance. CISA as the term, Certified Information System Auditor. If you are already a financial auditor or a quality auditor or a internal controller, or any profile for that matter, you want to take up audit as your preferred destination, you can look at this. It has a 5 domain. There is an audit process, IT audit process, governance and management, the SDLC, as we call system acquisition, development, implementation, which forms very important life cycle in any IT journey, systems operation and business resilience, the BCP part and system management part, the routine part, and the very purpose of such course is protecting the asset, protecting the digital asset, protecting the information asset, digital, non-digital. These are the domain they focus. It's a 4 hours, 150 MCQ question. Scaling, it's a pass, it's a scale score, a relative score, 450 out of 800 you have to score. There is a fee, more detail, you can look at it from the website, ISACA. CISA is, to my knowledge, more than 3-4 decades and a good number of professionals all over the world. Audit remains with whichever technology, whether you use one technology or this technology, audit remains a functional requirement, both from regulatory and internal perspective. The course objective, it gives you the skill set, knowledge required to perform an audit. It's a skill acquired to do a system audit. It gathers information on the more talks about the control environment, then risk-based audit, understanding of the controls by reviewing. There is a technique you follow how to do an audit, documentation review, observation, discussion, interaction with the personnel. There is also a test two methodology they use: compliance testing, more from a conformity, what is said in a document. And there is another one, substantive testing. You go deep dive to get into the bottom by taking a sampling, or even 100% these days, 100% data analysis possible. You can validate the control by doing substantive testing. You need skills for that. So you analyze the evidences, arrive at the conclusion, present it to the board. So it is sought after as an independent third leg of defense, audit as a profession. The other one, certified information security manager. You want to help, you want to build, you want to manage the emerging risk as a doer, not as an audit. You can do that as an information security manager. CISM is one such certificate. It focuses on the governance, risk management, cyber risk management. We call it as information security risk management. Deploying new solution technique, information security program. It could be cloud security, it could be a blockchain security, it could be IoT security, or it could be identity access control management, incident management, which is a hallmark. Nowadays, incidents do happen. How do you manage? How quickly you identify and respond to an incident? It's a 4 hours exam, 150 MCQ, same like a CISA. You can look at the ISACA website for more details. The objective is you will get what you will get, skills and the knowledge for managing the information security for any organization, anywhere in the world. It's recognized as a professional qualification. Generally, people end up in a managerial or senior manager. Over a period, they become chief information security officer as well. Certified in the governance of enterprise is a very rare qualification I have come across, which is after spending some time in risk management, security management, you reach a higher level in your, wherever you are, C-suite level. It is a good program for people who are looking at the advisory level, play a major role, strategic level. Governance of enterprise IT nowadays is much more relevant because of the hybrid model, with the cloud adoption, on-prem, various emerging technology, blurring of various the physical, digital, biological spheres. Value creation. Are you adopting a technology for the sake of technology, or it adds value to your organization? These are the focus: IT resource optimization, benefit realization, risk management. 4 hours, 150 MCQ. More details you will find in the ISACA website. As I put it, if you're a strategic guy, if you're on the governing guy, you're on a top notch, directing, advising, consulting a new era or a new digital transformation, new business. I think this is the one of the program. It provides a reasonable assurance to all the stakeholders that information risks are managed effectively against the growing cyber threats. Resources are utilized optimally, and there is a value creation by adopting, by investing in that technology. Board level, top manageable, C-suite. It can be a managerial level as well. So with that, I just shared what I believe all of us, wherever we are, whatever we are, we need to position our knowledge, enhance the knowledge, acquire additional skills. Some of the courses which I shared. Now the floor is open to all of us, open to you for discussion.
There's one question from Sir Rajesh. Is there any prerequisite for the CGEIT certification?
CGAT certification, the criteria.
The prerequisite, sir, is there any prerequisite?
Yeah, the prerequisites for CGIT, as I said, it's a slightly on a strategic level, on a leadership level, and a managerial level. People who have worked 3 to 4 years in IT or business overall view, they will be the right candidates. But it is simple, relatively simple. It's a more looking at a bird's view of an organization's strategic vision, mission, and securing them.
Thanks, Mr. Chandran. Actually, the actual question is like, I just wanted to understand any of the security experience required earlier, like I think CISA, CISA certification, I think.
Not really, but it adds. Not really, not really.
Okay, very nice.
Because it is IT management. It is more on IT management,
Okay.
less on security or controls.
Right, perfect. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Chandran,
Yeah.
I have a question regarding the membership, because the difference is in the exam rate is very heavy in the members and non-members.
Yes.
So what are the advantages and what is required to become a member?
One membership provides you access to their various publication. In fact, it's a repository of knowledge. Some of the like work, for example, how to do a AWS cloud. Suppose that is a question. I'm an auditor, but cloud has come recently. I'm given a chance to do a cloud audit. So they give the tools free of to the member, or even if it is a priced edition, they give a discount. So there is a knowledge repository, the center of excellence in various areas. So you will get it. Even for example, you want to do a Windows Active Directory audit. Where do you start with? So those things comes as a ready reckoner, as a member benefit. Apart from that, the exams are discounted. And then what happens if you, in this year, 2023, you qualify without member, they give you the membership for the remaining period of it as a gesture. So membership, either before the exam or post-exam, it keeps you a continuous professional education requirement, CPE hours as they call it. So you get the knowledge, you can attend the meetings of their chapters. So you get to know many things, including job opportunity across the globe. They post it.
Okay.
A lot of tools and technique they share.
What is the cost of taking membership?
There is one is annual membership. Once you become qualified in any of these exams, there is a maintenance fee of the certification, maybe $30, $40, like that. So in my case, I pay $255 for 3 or 4 qualification which I have from the ISACA. But that is not a must. You have to be or not as a member. Without a member also, you can qualify. You can put it. Only you are not a member, but all the certification, other things continue to be with you. You can be an ordinary member also.
Where does CompTIA Security Plus certification rate against the courses you mentioned?
It is there, sir. It is there. What she is asking, he or she, I don't know. So asking, thank you for the presentation. Where does CompTIA Security Plus certification rate against the courses?
Okay. So you want to compare CompTIA, the A certificate, A plus, something like that. To me, ISACA has presence in any nation, any country, anywhere in the world. Within that country also, they have presence local chapters. Very powerful body across the globe. When I say CISA or CSM, I don't say much. They don't even ask me, how do you do an audit of an environment? That is the credibility they carry. Others are many such programs like ISC2, CISSP, EC Council are also there. When it comes to governance, when it comes to system audit, I think these are the qualification which is sought after in the public domain. So they have an edge. Also, many of the bodies, the regulators, governments have recognized ISACA as one of the force. I mean, they recognize the certification from ISACA. From that perspective, it has an edge. They also work with the Cloud Security Alliance for the cloud security audit. So like that, they also share the program with other bodies also.
Did we satisfy your question, Atili?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Chandran, I have one question. Like whatever the background experience we have, like 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, for us, it's totally new for the cybersecurity. So after we study this course and get certified, we will be considered as an experienced in the cybersecurity, or we will be from the scratch, from the junior level like that?
That's a very interesting question. Thanks for that. Even after spending 30 years or 30 plus years, I feel I'm still in the beginning. To be honest, there is no age or stage. All of the people, especially your experience of 10 years, 15 years, you know many things. The governance comes within you. The first leg of defense, maybe you played as an operation or a whichever function, you yourself is a risk champion. We don't know, all of us, or a risk champion. You would have been participating in the BCP, Operation Resilience, directly, indirectly, budgetary exercise, everything, operational control, operational risk management, you would have done. You would have contributed in the document writing, maker, checker, controls like that. So from that perspective, every industry moves from yesterday to today and today to tomorrow. There is a linkage. Maybe they have moved faster, but the way the fabric remains. So our experience, whichever field, 10 years, 12 years, definitely will add value. We will orient ourselves towards the emerging trend, emerging technology. We should move away from the traditional managing the people. For example, I said I am managing 10 people under me. It's not a skill or a thing which I need to showcase. If I say I worked in 10 different environment, IT environment, 10 different system, and this moved to cloud, and now I adopted the cloud, perhaps that could be the merit that will add a merit to us. That's what I feel. So 10 years, 15 years still adds a value.
Value, yeah, it adds value. Yeah,
that's value.
There's another
Thank you,
question
sir.
from Padma.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Thank you for the useful intro of the cybersecurity. For a mid-career switcher, what's best to start with, as there are so many options?
So where to start? So if you put the roadmap, depending upon our background and exposure, maybe we are fresher. I started the fresher. Freshers, whichever discipline, whether engineering, arts, science, whichever discipline, as long as they have an appetite towards cybersecurity, IT risk management, governance, compliance, digital forensics, data privacy, fraud management, online fraud risk management. There's a wide areas which they can choose from. So freshers, they can adopt faster anything they have. Few years of experience, 4 to 5 years in a financial industry or a service industry, a manufacturing, where they worked with the system, then they can go deep into that, because those industries also undergoing a lot of changes. For example, the industrial system, there is a ICS 62443, there is a standard. ISO, ISMS across all the industries. So one can get into the implementation of the standard controls or performing the other side, doing an audit or control assurance. So 4 to 5 years, people can also start with this program, especially they want to transition to security domain. CISM type of a program is a very good program. Somebody who wants to take up audit, control assurance, governance, then they can look at CISA or higher level CGIT. People 8 years, 10 years, they can look at CGIT type of a program, because definitely they'll be adding value to their decision-making ability, maturity, and they know yesterday, today, and tomorrow. That they can look at a CGIT type of process. Somebody who wants to penetrate into hardcore penetration testing, then certification like OSCP, offensive security, Sometimes even CEH, LPT, SANS courses will also come to there.
There's a follow-up question from Padma. So how technical are these courses?
These three are largely management program. People with 3 to 4 years in a good enterprise environment, they will be able to sail through. CISA of the three, CISA will be a bit challenging because of the audit, technology, and management concept. Others too, once you clear CISA or without CISA, they are relatively simple to crack. Conceptually, CGIT is heavy conceptually. If you're not served as a functional head, functional manager, could be a challenge, but it's a concept only. All the three can be clear. CISA will be a bit challenge from pure audit process, pure technology management, and the management concepts.
Okay, so there's another question from Sir Mani Raji. I have switched from senior system engineer to cybersecurity engineer in PAM. How is the scope? How is the scope in this? What can be my next scope?
From senior security engineer to cybersecurity engineer in PAM.
Right, sir.
Privilege access management.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No, PAM, yeah, IAM. One suggestion is instead of focusing on a particular technology like a SAP or JD Edwards or a BON or a Oracle Financial or a IAM like a particular Oracle IAM solution, we can be broad-based because technology changes very fast. So we can be more of concept. So all these, the one which I've discussed, they are neutral to technology. As far as your career is concerned, if you are managing a privilege access management, I think you should look from security operations, cyber security operations, SIM, SOAR, security orchestration, automated response tool, threat intelligence, attack surface management, threat hunting type of a program. From a pure administrative to control to threat intelligence, threat hunting will be, your core strength if you can demonstrate it. Very few people more demand in those domains. Okay, thank you for your time. There's no question. Thank you very much for your patience. Wish you all the best. Whatever career, whatever progress you want to make, wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone, and good
Thank you, Mr.
night.
Chandran. Yeah,
Thank you everyone for attending.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Chandran, sir.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Thank you.